Second thing I want to point out is this. Kids wish that we as dads knew or know how to discipline them. Verse 6 of Ephesians, or verse 4 rather, of Ephesians 6 says, fathers, do not exasperate, fancy $10 word to mean, do not provoke to anger. Do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up, that is, nourish and nurture up to maturity in the training. Bring them up, which is to nurture, nourish up to maturity. So you're bringing them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. So part of my role as a dad, as is the case with you men, is to bring discipline to your children. But discipline is not something where you're either embarrassing or humiliating your children or your child. But biblical discipline is doling out generous amount of reward, praise, parental acts of kindness that nurtures them up into emotionally whole human beings. And there's something about that. And may I say to you, I know that being a dad, it is a very hard task. Because your children, if they're like mine, when they came from the hospital, I checked their blankets. I checked the car seats, but there was no instruction notes. Nothing there. It was just on-the-job training. And so you learn. But part of learning to be a good dad, I learned from being in the local church. When I came to faith in Christ at 20 years of age, and then when I got married at 22, and then later on when children came, I'm watching the men in the church, watching to see how they handle their children, watching to see how they interface with their wives, learning because I didn't have a good role model of a father growing up, so I had to learn it from men in the church. And thank God for the men in the church that were godly, good role models of a husband and as a father. And I say to you men that are here today, if you lacked what I lacked, then you need to connect in a deepest way and in a much vulnerable way with the men that God's planted in this place, because you're going to find that it's going to be a great source of instruction, great source of encouragement, and great way to develop the skills and the inclinations that you want to and that your children want you to have. Because our children wish that we knew, for me past tense, and we know for you in present tense, know how to discipline.